Hello, welcome to day 3, and let's just call out my high water pants that have skulls on them right now. The girls and I are away using a friend's house. I'm super grateful, and the dog, she's sleeping. And as any good mother would, I packed many extra clothes for my children and forgot to pack pajamas for myself. So I'm here, pajamaed up in high waters, in skull pants, and freshly washed hair. We are about to do some down regulation. What happened to my ball? So technically, you don't need any equipment. I said you don't need any equipment, but if you do have the squishy ball, if you work out with me, go ahead and grab that, or you could use a pillow or something, or you don't have to have anything. It'll make sense in a second. So what we are going to do today is we're going to do some breathing. Over the course of this challenge, I'm going to give you several different breathing techniques and strategies. Some of them will be more stimulating. Most of them will be to reduce anxiety and stress, and more down regulating, because I feel like that's more of what most of us need. It's so hard to keep this short, but I'm going to try. All right. So the one thing that I want to start out with is that we breathe all day and we don't have to think about it. So I think that we really should be taking some time each day to really think about it, like pay attention to it, because I take it for granted. I don't have to think about it, and it's happening, right? Okay? But if we think about it and we're intentional about it, there are so many benefits. So I'm sure there are some of you, and I've talked to some of you, that experience throughout the day, you notice that you're holding your breath, you're in stressful situations. I do it when I'm driving, probably several reasons. I have some traumatic experiences driving, which I'm sure comes into play with that. Driving is stressful in general. But when you are holding your breath, you are telling your body that you are stressed out. You are in a fight or flight mode. When we're holding our breath and we're releasing that cortisol, obviously that has effect on your hormones, on your weight management, on just your overall general health. But there is a muscle that everybody always tells me is chronically tight, not everybody, but the psoas, which is your deepest hip muscle that runs from your inner thigh up through the front and actually attaches in your back. But that muscle is one of the only muscles that contracts without you telling it to. So my bicep doesn't contract unless I tell it to. I flex it, I do something with it. That, however, can contract under stress, which can cause stuff in the hips and the low back and the knees. Like, this could be such a long video. I'm going to try to get into some of this later in the challenge, but hopefully we'll do another challenge and learn more about this. So the last thing I want to say about the breathing is breathing really helps stimulate the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve runs from the base of the skull down to the intestines. Gut-brain connection. And there's a really big channel near the diaphragm. So the vagus nerve can get irritated. It can be in a constant state of irritation from trauma or just your life. And things like breathing and cold water therapy, humming, there's so many things that we're going to get into, can start to do some vagal toning. So it can start to turn on your off switch. We have the sympathetic system, which sounds kind of contradictory because the sympathetic system is the one that puts us in that fight or flight mode, and the parasympathetic nervous system is the one that is responsible more for down regulation, regulating us. And it doesn't necessarily mean we're in a meditative state or we're super chill. It's just when we're in that state, it's easier for us, and that vagal nerve is toned and it's chill, and it's like, a good place. It's easier to regulate our emotions, decision making, all kinds of stuff. So we'll get into that a little bit later. So as I said, there are many techniques, and today I'm going to do one that is really, really down regulating. So this would be a really nice one to do before bed, or if you're really stressed out, You can do it anytime, but I'm just letting you know this one is a real chill one, okay? So we are going to elevate if you have something. If not, it's totally cool. You're gonna lie down on your back and you're gonna put it on your sacrum. So that blood flow starts to stimulate that vagus nerve, the type of blood flow that happens when we do that inversion or that elevation can also accelerate, putting us into that state where the rest and digest, the parasympathetic nervous system can function a little bit better. Okay, cool. So you're gonna lie down on your back, and once I start, I'm gonna put a timer on, because otherwise I am going to completely lose track of time. And I am going to put a timer on for 8 minutes. And we are gonna chill. When the timer goes off, you know that you are done. So you're gonna lie down on your back, you're gonna close your eyes, and you're just going to listen to my cues, okay? Okay, so you're gonna lie down on your back, you're gonna place the object, if you have something, again, you don't have to have anything, on your sacrum, not in your low back, on your sacrum, just so you get that little bit of elevation, okay? So we have this little bit of elevation, and then we are going to be placing our pointer finger and our thumb together very gently. And we're gonna be trying to sense our heartbeat or our pulse. If we're not able to access it there and feel it there, you're going to find it and feel it somewhere in your body. You're gonna use that as a metronome or as a counter. Now we're gonna be breathing in for a count of 6. You're gonna be holding for a 4 count. You're gonna be exhaling longer, because the longer exhale, something about the longer exhale gets you into that parasympathetic nervous system quicker and in a better way. So here's the breathing pattern. Inhale for 6, hold for 4, exhale for 8, hold for 4. Inhale for 6, okay? So it's 6, 4, 8, 4, 6, 4, 8, 4. I'm gonna do the first 2 rounds with you, but then I want you to use your heartbeat or your pulse when you find it as your counter. It's gonna help you stay present, stay with that mind and body connection, and really just kind of keep you in the moment and keep you accountable. So the first thing that we're gonna do, so as soon as I start the breathing with you, I'm gonna time us for 5 minutes. It's gonna go a lot faster than you think, okay? So you're gonna put your pointer and your thumb together, and you're gonna get really still. I'm not gonna do any talking for the next few seconds. And I want you to see if you can feel that pulse in between your fingertips, okay? If you cannot feel that really little subtle pulse in those fingertips, I want you to just scan your body. Sometimes you can feel it in your low abdomen, in your groin, in your neck. Maybe you can just even feel your heartbeat, but somewhere in your body, I know you can feel that blood pumping, that pulse happening. Okay, you're gonna use that as your counter. So I'm gonna start you off with the breathing just to get the pattern in your head, but then you're gonna go on your own and you're going to keep counting. If you can't feel the pulse or the heart or anything anywhere, don't freak out. Just try to do something that feels restorative and soothing as far as your breathing pattern, and don't overthink it. And if at any point you start to feel anxiety about the breathing or the counting, just focus on nice, deep, slow breaths in through your nose, filling up that rib cage. We're trying to fill up the rib cage, expanding deep into those lungs and into the belly a little bit, okay? So let's start by exhaling everything out. And then you're gonna inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8. Hold for 4. You have 5 minutes starting right now where you are going to self-guide using that pulse as your metronome. And again, if you can't find it, just do the counting in your head, and we're doing this together. When you hear the timer go off, you are finished. Now remember, our exhale is longer, okay? Something with that longer exhale really gets you in that parasympathetic nervous system a little bit quicker. That down regulation starts to happen. So inhale 6, hold 4, exhale 8, hold 4, inhale 6, hang in there, let the pulse be your guide. And again, if you can't access that pulse, you're not really feeling it, please just use a slow, steady counting. Breathing is extremely beneficial for our mental health, lowering blood pressure, all kinds of health benefits, helping with stress management, sleep, anxiety, depression. It can also help you with the capacity of your lungs if you're trying to do some sort of sport or profession, or if you have had any sicknesses. We're in COVID times. It can really, really help heal your lungs and help with that oxygen saturation and the health of your lungs, the expansion. So 5 minutes is an excellent starting place to try and fit this in once or twice a day. If you oftentimes wake up feeling anxious, do this first thing in the morning when you wake up, when you're thinking of hitting the snooze button, when your mind starts to run with everything that you have for the day. Just pause and breathe. If you're having a really stressful day at work, or if you're someone that really needs a little bit more help and guidance easing into sleep. Okay. So I'm not sure if you could hear that little bell going off, but your 5 minutes is done. So as you're coming out of that particular breathing pattern, I want you just to notice how you're feeling, any sensations. I want you to take a really nice deep breath, as deep as you can into your lungs. See if it feels like you're expanding in that rib cage any further. Just how your mental state is, how your body's feeling. If you were elevated, slowly pressing through the heels, raise the hips up. Take the ball out or whatever you used. And then slowly squeeze those knees into your chest. And then bring them down and then slowly roll over, if you can, onto your right side. The right side, something about laying on the right side can actually help with that vagal tone more, supposedly. Roll over onto your side. And then if you want to stay really chill, you can just stop the video and just lay here for longer. Otherwise, you're going to slowly letting your head hang, almost like you're just kind of slinking your way up. Get into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed as long as you can. And then just sit it up, kind of let yourself settle in, and just notice the difference of how you feel right now. And then try to memorize that feeling. And next time your emotions are out of control, you're really stressed, you're having a really hard time regulating or making decisions, falling asleep, you're taking on too many things, you're taking on other people's emotions, etc. There's so many things. Just try to come back to where we were, okay? Awesome job. We'll do much more breathing in the next few weeks together. I'll see you soon.